Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. In today's video, we are going to cover ICP, its recent price action, a couple of interesting information, tweets and news for ICP, as well as a couple of interesting altcoin charts too. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick note that this video isn't a financial advice. So let's first of all have a look at ICP over here on CoinGecko. As we can see over here, ICP is currently trading at $14.49 and is currently experiencing a little leg down of 12.1%. So obviously that is a big drop, but we had a also huge pump obviously over here for ICP. Well, huge pump considering ICP's chart. So let's have a look at market cap. Market cap is currently sitting at 6.6 billion USD and 24-hour trading volume is sitting at 608.4 million USD. So let's have a look. First of all, before we are going to look at the chart, let's have a look at this piece of news over here. So ICP was covered in Crypto Mondays New York, which is globally renowned as the largest blockchain community active in over 70 cities. So the first things first, I don't believe, for those that are saying that ICP is scam, I don't believe that ICP is scam. If it's covered in such a variety of different entities and meetups all over the world, it doesn't look to me like it's a scam. But obviously, I understand why some people are thinking that ICP is a scam. So ICP, well, or actually FTX was involved with ICP, and due to their actions, ICP dropped from huge prices of $600 or $800, I believe, last cycle to almost nothing, right? So obviously ICP is recovering after that, and that adoption is coming, but that is coming in steps and slow steps if it comes to ICP. But let's have a look over here. Students are immersing themselves in blockchain, exploring the history of Web3 and staying ahead of emerging trends via the game-changing capabilities of internet computers. So again, right, in the previous video I have covered that ICP has collaborations with, I believe, 72 universities around the world. And if students, young people all over the world in different universities are adopting ICP, and obviously they are going to create the future with ICP, that adoption is coming, but that adoption is going to come slowly. So obviously ICP is going to cost more, in my opinion, but not necessarily in this bull cycle. I don't think we are going to see $1,000 ICP. Of course, I could be wrong, but even if we are going to see $100 or $200 ICP, it's still a win for a company after a huge dump due to the FTX, right? So let's have a look at this over here. So that's Ethereum Denver over here, and ICP is being covered because now apparently they are best friends with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So obviously that is something good to see. Now let's have a look at this over here. First of all, shout out to johnw.icp on Twitter or X, however you want to call it. Now, the internet computer is the best tech in crypto by far, and it isn't even close. Everything else is trying to become what ICP already is. ICP will be a top 3 crypto within the next 3 years. This is an internet computer computational certainty. So let's have a look at that little comparison over here with different blockchains. So if we are going to look at actual transactions per second, we've got ICP being a winner over here, 5,000 plus transactions, while Solana can do 3,000. Obviously Solana, I do believe it's a good blockchain. Of course it has its downsides, but if it comes to actual transactions, ICP is a winner above Solana. And of course, not mentioning Ethereum, New Protocol and Cardano, which are slow in comparison with ICP. Now let's have a look at block finality. So as we can see over here, ICP has around 1 to 2 seconds for block finality, Avalanche 2.3, Algorand 3.5, Solana 5 to 12.8, and Ethereum 15 minutes. So obviously no comment about Ethereum at this point. And now let's have a look at energy consumption per transaction. So as we can see over here, ICP is on top again, right above Solana, Cardano, Avalanche and Algorand. So that's good. And on-chain storage cost. So as we can see over here, ICP is the cheapest. It's $5 per year, I believe, and Solana $48 48,000, over 48,000, not mentioning about Cardano, Avalanche and Ethereum. So obviously in that comparison, ICP is winning. Obviously, it's a huge technology, it's a very great project, but that needs time in my opinion. And now let's have a look at some numbers for ICP. So as we can see over here in terms of ICP being staked, that's currently sitting at 47.9%, so nothing has changed ever since my previous update. And now let's have a look at balance on exchanges for ICP. So as we can see over here on the 3rd of March, we had that huge, well, local huge drop, and then we had a bounce back. So I do believe that's due to their vesting schedule, and that is going to come as well. We are going to have an unlock of 3.3 million ICPs, and that's going to come in fruition on March 11th. So technically, based on that fact, we could potentially experience some drop, but again, we are in a bull cycle, so obviously that might not necessarily matter that much. Now let's have a look at some DeFi for ICP. So as we can see over here, ICP is experiencing a big injection of DeFi. Total value locked at the moment is sitting at 38.4 million USD, and if I'm going to zoom in that chart, we basically went from 11.3 millions to 38.4 in a matter of one day pretty much, right? And now let's finally have a look at ICP. So as we can see over here, ever since yesterday, there was 5th of March, we saw a local pump of 18%. So that's a lot in my opinion in one day. Of course, we are all expecting 100%, 200% on ICP, but I do believe that those gains are going to come with ICP, especially if you are investing into ICP much earlier, right? So what am I thinking about this, right? To me, it looks like the situation with Render as well. So let me pull out Render chart, and as we can see over here, Render was in a very similar situation, if not exactly the same. The only difference is that this triangle is descending and ICP's triangle is ascending, but nevertheless, we're expecting that breakout towards the upside, and after that we saw a pullback and exit out of that triangle model, right? However, after that we saw a huge pump for Render, right? So I do believe that this is going to be the same thing. And let me come back to ICP's chart. So as we can see over here, as I was mentioning before, that was too beautiful to be true, right? So many people were probably trading that situation with leverage, and obviously market makers liquidated all of those longs, probably 100x longs, and that's basically a short market manipulation. And now ICP is looking strong. Looks like it's going to break above that resistance level. We obviously broke above the resistance level and we saw $17 ICP. So there were new local all-time highs for ICP definitely this year. And I do believe that ICP has a strong momentum to break above that resistance level, but obviously that is going to come with time. So if we are going to look at MACD first of all, as we can see over here, MACD is turning into bullish momentum, and please remember that isn't necessarily said that now we are going to see a huge pump for ICP, right? That is good, that looks bullish so far. And if we are going to look at the standpoint of RSI, we can currently see that ICP is sitting at 64 for RSI. So we have a little bit of way to go on the daily for ICP. So if I'm going to allow myself to measure it that way, that's going to be around 40%. So if I'm going to draw 40% from where we are at right now, let's have a look. That is going to be around $20. Possibly, if we are going to break above that level of resistance over here that is sitting at 24, that's going to be very bullish, because that is a very long-term resistance level over here for ICP that leads us back to the previous bull cycle, as we can see over here. So the patience is going to be rewarded. Of course, I'm not telling you to go 100x on leverage, right? I'm just telling you what I'm thinking. But alright, if we are going to look at perspective of monthly gains for ICP, as we can see over here, ICP printed 10% of profits in February, and in March at the moment 14.8. Obviously March is being printed still because it's obviously 6th of March, so we are going to see how ICP is going to do this month. I do believe it's going to be greener than this one. I do believe it's going to be more than 14, but heck, we are going to see. And now let's have a look into a couple of interesting things. So first things first, in order to remind ourselves, right, that not every single crypto is going to follow what BTC is doing, because obviously the path of alt season is very, very clear. First, we are going to see Bitcoin pumping, right? And that's something that we are currently experiencing on the market now. Bitcoin saw highs of $69,100. So obviously that was a new all-time high. And later after that, we are going to see Ethereum pumping. And after that, we are going to see large caps, and then we are going to see micro caps. So I do believe that ICP, given the fact that it has how much 6.6 billion USD as a market cap, I would say that is a mid cap. I wouldn't really say it's a large cap. I would consider Solana being a large cap at around 60 billion USD. So ICP, that's going to be probably our medium cap, right? But obviously that path to alt season is coming, and I'm going to tell you why very, very soon. But let's first of all have a look at this Bitcoin chart. So as we can see over here, we have reached those previous all-time highs over here on a BTC, and that's very, very bullish because we did that before the halving, which means, can we see another pullback? Well, I do think so, but let's have a look at this chart over here. In comparison to BTC, we haven't touched our previous all-time highs on altcoins, and of course ICP included into that. So obviously there is a lot of way to go with our ICP. We just do have to be patient. And all right, let's have a look over here where we are at this bull cycle. So as we can see over here, according to the Scalping Pro, shout out by the way, Scalping Pro on X, we are in hope, and well, we actually left hope and we are entering optimism phase of the market, right? So obviously we still have a lot of time to see our ICP gains. And now if we are going to look at this chart over here, we've got this bullish cross over here that we also experienced over here in the previous bull cycle 2018, 2019 and 2015. So as we can see over here, after that bullish cross over here on the Gunnar EMA crossed, we saw a huge pump for alts. So that's obviously bullish. And now if we are going to look at this over here, let's first of all have a look at the previous bull cycle for BTC. So as we can see over here, we had a little bit of pump over here in that yellow zone before the halving, and after that we saw a drop, right? But let's see what happened right after that in a green zone. And now let's have a look at our current cycle here. We are before the halving over here, and we are still, I would consider this as a reaccumulation phase. Obviously that should be our true accumulation phase over here. If you will be investing over here, you will be already sitting at some healthy profits, but obviously there is still a little bit of time according to this chart. So shout out to Stock Money Lizards on X. And now if we are going to look how much of potential we've got on BTC, that is crazy, because that chart suggests that it could be around $500,000. And do I believe that's going to happen? Well, with ETFs, I do believe that's possible. I'm not saying that it's going to happen for 100%. Nobody really knows, but that is definitely in the cards. That is going to be definitely a different cycle than the previous ones. Alright then, that's it for today's video. I hope that you have enjoyed that quick ICP update, and I hope that you are going to have a great day or evening wherever you are in the world. Peace and love, crypto.